Let's get back to Phish, shall we? I was going to listen to Slip, Stitch, and Pass, and I'm still going to, but I just wanted to do another album reaction. If I'm being honest with you, it's just been an incredibly long and arduous week. I've got a lot of light at the end of a pretty short tunnel, but it's been a long and arduous and worrisome week. So I wanted to do something that was just not necessarily with an audience, just sit down and listen to an album because I like sitting down and listening to albums. So figured why not hop back into a band that is very quickly becoming one of my favorite bands ever, Phish. The Story of the Ghost. A lot of people have said that this is one I'm really going to enjoy. After doing Billy Breathes, I feel like I'm kind of on a high, and after living with Billy Breathes for a little while, I would say it got really close to topping over Rift, but I think Rift is still currently my favorite, but I do think Billy Breathes hits a close second to me right now, just the way I'm living. But guys, I'm gonna hop into this thing. It doesn't seem like there's any really long, so it looks like the only song that's long in here is Guyute, or Guyute. Is that like Shut Up? Guyute? No, I think that's something else. I don't know. But either which way, that seems to be like the only long song off of just a quick glance. So yeah, maybe it's not gonna be like jam-oriented Phish. We'll see. Guys, I'm gonna hit the play button on this thing. Before I do, it's just very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, or join me on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. Come hang out with us, discover music with us. I'd love to see you there. Guys, without further ado, let's hop into Phish. The Story of the Ghost, kicking it off with the song Ghost. Here we go. And by the way, since I'm not doing this live, if you guys would do me the kindness, give me any kind of context you might have throughout the video of things I might be missing, or things that are interesting, or, little Easter eggy things I might have missed. It's honestly one of my favorite parts about doing reactions to Phish is all of the interconnectedness. So yeah, guys, give me what you know as we go through this thing. But like I said, here we go. Story of the Ghost. Ghost. There's wind. Ooh. Kind of get a Steve Miller-y band vibe from this. Time keeps on slipping into the future. That's the vibe I'm getting. I know I know I just audibly dunked all over that. I'm sorry. Let's go back. I hear a little bit of Steve Miller Band is all I'm saying. Chunky bass line, and I like that fuzzy wah sound in the back. What are these words?
I feel I never told you.
I love the funk vibe here.
Of the ghost that I once knew and talked to, of whom I'd never boast.
Kind of funkadelic, you know?
My big secret, how I get ahead. And
there's these like tiny little like tidbitty sounds in the background that I'm hearing these little like sounds, and I don't know if it's like synthy stuff I'm hearing, but then there's a lot of little like these like fuzzy wah soundy guitar-y accents in the back that make it so tasty.
'cause this was my big secret.
And if you're a fan of this song, I would suggest, and you're trying to like get into Giz, check out King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's latest single, Phantom Island. I think that if you like this song, you will like that song. Neither here nor there. Excuse me.
And talk to, of whom I'd never boast. 'Cause this was my big secret. answer came in actions. He never spoke a word.
Sorry, I think the music might have been really loud in the ears.
I laid down the phone before he could be heard. I somehow feel forsaken, like he had closed the door. I guess I just stopped needing him as much as once before.
I loved that little round that they did there. Who did the low part? Because I feel like it was Trey that did the high part. So the story of the ghost, the one I knew and that I once knew and talked to, of whom I'd never boast, for this was my big secret, how I'd get ahead and never have to worry. I'd call him instead. His answers came in actions. He never spoke a word. Or maybe I laid down the phone before he could be heard. I somehow feel forsaken, like he had closed the door. I guess I stopped needing him as much as once before. Huh. It didn't seem like he's just writing about a ghost. I want to go back. I know I interrupted it. I'm going to let it play through after this moment, but just that really long, sustained, like, kind of silent in with that chonky slap boy.
But maybe he's still with me. The latch was left unhooked. He's waiting in the wind and rain. I simply haven't looked.
What are these noises I'm hearing in the back? It's like a pick scrape on a wound string. That's exactly what that noise is. That bait.
Never told you the story of the ghost. I feel I've never told you the story of the ghost.
I love this guitar sound so much.
The story of the ghost.
Oh man.
Told you the story of the ghost.
Those big hits, man, are killing it. It makes me so happy when I hear that, because they just do this, like they go from this quiet thing to this one really loud moment, and then they're back into like cool and collected.
The story of the ghost.
I feel like this could wail so hard live. The other thing is, like, Trey is singing while he's making these like wailing guitar sounds in the background. This song was incredible, and honestly kind of a vibe I haven't heard out of them before. I kind of liked this like lo-fi sounding space rocky, you know, like psychedelic sort of feeling thing. Had a bluesy sort of element to it. I really loved that screeching wah pedally guitar in the background and all of the little ad-libby stuff. I think Mike on the bass, by the way, like might have been just like the whole dick and balls behind the song. Like it really was awesome. I mean, I'm not trying to, nobody phoned it in here, you know what I mean? But I think, and again, I'm pretty positive that those like spaceshipy shooting noises was Paige. Like I think that those were like pretty tuned synths. So I'm hey, yo, Bacchus, thank you for following. But yeah, this was definitely an interesting thing. And again, just so different than what I feel like I have visited in Phish before. I very much loved that song. So funky and hard and awesome. Like, that was super good, dude. Birds of a Feather. The organ. The energy.
It's easy sometimes when you just coast along. But like it or not, something always seems to go wrong. Sometimes people build you up just so they can knock you down. Sometimes they will have you there cause they need someone around.
I love lyrical Phish, dude, so much. Like, okay, it's easy sometimes when you just coast along, but like it or not, something always seems to go wrong. And I think that it's totally true. Like, even if you get in a comfort zone, something can interrupt that comfort zone. And I think it's, kind of like dangerous in general to be in a comfort zone. In this place in my life, I'm getting ready to take some exciting steps forward, and I feel like it's coming from a place of having been coasting for a while, and there's some excitement to that. Sometimes people build you up just so they can knock you down. Sometimes they will have you because they need someone around. Again, I feel like I can imagine these people in my life and look back and kind of now thankfully be like, man, I really learned a lot out of those relationships from, for how I don't want to be treated. But golly day, I think all of us can kind of relate to that.
Sometimes they will have you there cause they need someone around. Perhaps you'll receive invitations for tea.
This is so fast. The bass line, the keys,
make them all smile.
and the wah guitar that's happening behind it. There's a lot happening here between the four. Like, they're all playing really fast, but also striking kind of staccato-y.
Or perhaps you will laugh and you'll make them all smile. Or maybe you'll join them, cause it had to be. Perhaps you'll forget that you forgot for a while.
Boom, 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 boom.
Birds of a feather
Ooh,
are flocking outside.
love the harmonies there.
Birds of a feather are flocking outside. Birds of a feather are flocking outside. Birds of a feather.
That organ is great, dude.
Like whippets they dance in a curly Q dance. Pulses and ringing and campfire chants of ritual drumming, although at first glance you thought you could run, but you won't take a chance.
I will say the mix in this one is definitely different. Like, it definitely feels like there's a different kind of production to it, because with Trey's voice in the past, it kind of felt like his voice was not nearly as on top of the music in this case, but in this context, he's able to kind of get up a bit closer to the microphone, and I feel like you're hearing a lot more of the characteristics of his voice, especially in the lower stuff. Like, in the shoutier songs, not necessarily, but I feel like in this song in particular, he's definitely got this thing where he's a lot more character and close feeling present to the mic. And I don't know, if you go back and listen to Rift or Hoist, I think you'll see what I mean. Just coming off of those albums and then hearing this one, it definitely sounds like there was a different direction taken with his vocal editing, and I'm enjoying it, but it's different, right? And it's definitely not Mustard from what I've heard so far. It's got like energy, it's got jam energy, but definitely not Mustard.
It's not an experience if they can't bring someone along. They hang on emotions they bottle inside. They peck at the ground and they strut out of stride.
And again, I feel like I also love the concept of birds of the feather, and I've always found it pretty interesting that when you talk about relationships, right, like there are two adages. You have birds of the feather fly together or opposites attract, and it's like we say both things about relationships, so it's like you've got a 50% chance of commenting about the relationship incorrectly and still being correctly, I guess, on the other side of that coin. But in this context, I think it seems to be talking about people who are just kind of bad for your life and how they like are around other people that are bad for your life. I could be wrong. Perhaps you'll receive invitations for tea. Perhaps you'll laugh and make them all smile. Or maybe you'll join them because it had to be. Perhaps you'll forget you forgot for a while. Wow. I like that idea. Perhaps you'll forget that you forgot for a while. Birds of the feather are flocking outside. Like whippets, they dance in a curlicue dance of pulses and ringing and campfire chants of ritual drumming, although at first glance you thought you could run, but you won't take a chance. It's not an experience if they can't bring someone along. They hang on emotions they bottle inside. They peck at the ground and strut out of stride. It's not an experience if they can't bring someone along. I feel like that's kind of a hilarious concept to read as I'm sitting here, like, experiencing this and then getting ready to post it onto a YouTube thing, right? Like, come along. And at the same time, I feel like there are, like, in the context of this song, there are people that are like toxically, attached. I feel like there are, people that can't be alone. There are and also like the concept of misery loves company. I'm not too sure. And again, maybe that this is just one of those songs you surrender to the flow and, you just kind of appreciate that some of the things that they say have some meaning to you and you can kind of connect dots and be like, I see that. I see myself in that, or I see that person there. And then you think about how maybe you should be interacting or you shouldn't be interacting in those contexts with those people because of X, Y, or Z and how they make you feel. I don't know. It could be any number of things, but I think that's why I like Phish. I get to listen to it, think about what it means, be inspired and moved by the music. And I don't know. There's something that makes me happy about trying to interpret things, if that makes any sense to you at all. It does to me. And that, I think, has a lot to do with why I like them so much.
They hang on emotions they bottle inside. They peck at the ground and they strut out of stride. Birds of a feather are flocking outside.
And these harmony parts are so good, dude.
Are flocking outside. Birds of a feather are flocking outside. Birds of a feather.
The drum runs in the fills are that led in with sustain, the sustain noise we love. Let's go. All right, now that that part's over, I want to really comment on the fact that Trey was doing that shredding and those lead parts while singing. And I know I comment on this all of the time whenever I hear him do that. And maybe to Phish fans, you guys are like, duh, that's just what Trey does. You don't have to comment on it every single time it happens. But if that's you, like, suck a butt. This is my thing, okay? It's just really cool to me because I know how difficult that is. It is not easy to play leads of any sort while you're singing, let alone with other guys that are harmonizing, let alone like complex lead parts. Trey's ability to do that with his brain is really cool. It's a big brain thing, and it never stops impressing me. And then that transition out of that lead and harmony part into this bass sound. Am I hearing a sustain right now? It got a little mustardy there at the end, but there was this droning bee. That noise, is that a guitar sustain? And I'm hearing horns. Was there a horn section that was played in this? Like, did we have a guest playing horns here? Wow. I almost wonder if he used a looper and live looped that sustain sound and then played those wow. Or at least in my brain, that's how I would accomplish that live. So this is meat. As in eating meat, not as in meet you somewhere. I very much loved this bluesy, groovy kind of thing here. I just recently watched this Delvon Lamar Organ Trio live set, and this music reminds me of that. And I know early on, when I heard the organ sound, I commented Delvon Lamar Organ Trio because that band has just been in my ears quite a bit lately. But in this particular song, in general, it reminds me of that live set that I saw. Even the guitar tones here, the bass, it's got such a funky heartbeat.
I have it all. And I hear your footsteps through the wall. I wait in silence for your call.
There's a soul and R&B, old R&B kind of thing, I think, maybe? A shot at what you fall.
If I have a ghost,
hang on.
then take a shot at what you fall.
Take a shot at what you fall.
If I have a ghost, but I cannot fly living on my street. I try to stay alive and offer them some meat. If I had a resting place, 'cause I live on my street. I try to stay alive and offer them some meat.
What's that? How are they making that talk noise? Blah, 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 blah. It's just a really reverby kind of thing. And also this striking on the guitar along with these organ the whole thing is just got such a cool, fun heartbeat. It's putting the fun and funk. And this bass sustain.
Offer them some meat.
Can somebody tell me what was said there? And also how they made that voice? Dang.
some meat.
And oh wait, still. I love this, man. This is really cool. This is actually a vibe. Such a tight snare, like such a pocket sound. I loved this song. Meat was great too. I also, again, I think it really did just have kind of a swing and a heartbeat to it that just made me happy. But I also think that there, I don't know, is maybe an element of escapism to it, right? Like, I'm a prince, I hear your footsteps through the wall. I wait in silence for your call, then take a shot and watch you fall. I am a ghost, but I cannot fly. And we're revisiting this theme of the ghost. I'm stuck here as the years slide by. I need a resting place because I already felt my body die. If I had a host of ghosts living on my street, I'd jive and strive to stay alive and offer them some meat. I need a different life, I think. Perhaps I'd be the missing link and treasure moments as I drink. Away the memories, let them sink. And I heard him say the M in that, so I know it's probably just a typo here. Let the sink, but I don't know, that there is this, again, element of escapism in this idea of like, I need a different life, I think. Perhaps I'd be the missing link. And you're just thinking like maybe I would fit in perfectly somewhere else. Like there's something I really connect with there. But again, I think so much of the lyricism behind what they do is either like slap you right in the face or just like even abstract relatable, and I think that makes it special. Now this is I don't know if it's Guyute or Guyute, but this is something that has been brought to my attention before in comments, so I'm eager to hear it. Let's check this out. Let's let it, transition, of course.
Guyute was the ugly pig
Guyute,
who walked on me and danced a jig.
Okay.
That he had learned when he was 6. Then stopped and did some other tricks, like pulling weapons from his coat.
Oh.
And holding them against my throat. He lectured me in a language strange, then scampered quickly out of range.
Dang, this pig Guyute Guyute is nuts. This is also the long song on the album, so I'm kind of eager for this. It's got kind of a silly whimsical thing starting off there, right? Like it seems like it's a story thing, which I love a lore. And the whistle?
Language strange, then scampered quickly out of range.
I love the whistle. It's just such a kind of cute, kitschy thing for that moment. Definitely gives it like a pastoral vibe. Like, it's not a piccolo, is it? Like, I'm not being fooled into thinking that the sound of a piccolo is a whistle, am I? It's not a flute. That bass, though. Page is grand, though. Oh, man. The bass really talks for the song here. This is like what I've been dying for to hear in this album, so I'm glad I got it. The drum panning there was nice. These hammer-ons he's doing, I keep feeling this string, the headphone cable tickle my neck. Golly day, that was not comfortable. Sorry about that. I love revisiting these moments because I always pick up something different. Oh, these hammer-on and pull-off things. On the bass and the guitar. And then these accents with the bombastic piano. Ooh. Oh, man. Loved that. So I was kind of worrying that I wasn't going to get any kind of like jammy, mustardy sort of sounds, right? Like you get to an 8-minute song and then I'm really hoping that this is going to be the one I get it, and I got it. So I was really happy about that. What was interesting about this particular like brand of mustard, so to speak, was that there was like there was a lot of resolves, there was a lot of fast moments, but it would like feel like it wasn't tense because it was like all major key kind of feeling like it, and they were all doing stuff that sounded uplifting, but it was still tense and it would still change. And then again there were bombastics like where it would, like right here, okay, so it's like there's a right here. I also really love this ride run. And then you go into this like bluegrass inspired kind of transition, or folk, kind of inspired transition with that like hammer on kind of running thing. I just really loved that whole thing. Dude. I love how fast that guitar hammer-on pulling, like hammer-on pull-off noise is going. This conversation between Paige and... I want to hear that whole thing again. That whole little bit between Paige and Trey there was so cool because they were so accenting what they were doing, but they were also doing it at like complex moments. The fast snare and hi-hat here is so tasty. This. I love this, dude. I think Fishman is winning the what the heck is going on and making my brain look to a different sound award. If there's, that's I guess an award now, but no, that this whole transitionary part, all of these instrumentals, this whole jam has been so tasty. Just hearing all of the different things, and you know, I kept commenting on the conversation between like Paige and Trey, but then when you hear all of the different places that like the foundation that Fishman is laying for the rest of everybody, and then like Mike is kind of going all over the place from these like walking bass lines up high and low, like letting stuff ring, but then also like busying it up with this really pure tone. This has been a lot of fun. Also, it feels like it could be something in like a Wes Anderson score, you know, like that sound feels like it would be in something like, you know, I'm having a hard time, but it just sounds to me like something that would be in a Wes Anderson score. So take that as you will. The drums, dude. Put some stank on that tone. Am I hearing two guitars? Did he loop himself? No. Some bass? Somebody describe to me the sound I'm hearing. I'm hearing this sound on the right ear, this like higher pitch, like almost like crunched phasery sounding guitar sound. I don't know if it's like a bass with an octavey kind of sound to it. It's just like, are they guitar dubs? Am I hearing different guitar dub parts? That tone was lit. This part reminds me of Highway Star a little bit. I like this. Yes! Where has this been? Be still my heart right now. Listen to me. Listen here. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm gonna tell you. If you have a person that likes Giz and you're like, hey, I want you to listen to Phish and I listen to Giz, tell them to listen to Story. This is a good transition into that. If you got like a metalhead that wants to listen to Phish, start them here. This breakdown, this transition, fantastic. I did not know Phish did this. I did not know at all that was a sound. I'm going to run that back. I had so much fun with that. You guys, where was this advice before? Nope, we're going back further. That chonky sound. heady bass sound here. I have no idea how Trey's making his sounds right now. My heart is so happy to hear this sound. Dude, Guyute is amazing. I'm so happy. Like, I feel like I have more in common with them now. The drum panning is great. That transition was very Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick, side one-esque. This instrumental is amazing, dude. The organ sounds, the big guitar sounds. I got some like old metal hard rockin' sounds.
I'm bouncing like a newborn elf.
Nice.
I can't remain inside myself.
Is this what you guys mean when you say dark fish? Is this dark fish? Did I find dark fish today? Did I fall in love big with dark fish? Is that what you guys mean by dark fish? Like, because you've got this deep kind of ominous voice back behind Trey as he's singing.
I'm bouncing like
You hear what I'm talking about?
a newborn elf.
Like, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
I can't remain inside myself. Guyute glances in my eyes. It manages to hypnotize
Is this supposed to be the voice of Guyute?
me as I sleep the sleep of death.
Oh!
Manages to hypnotize me as I sleep the sleep of death. He sucks from me my only breath.
These guys are silly billies, man. You go from this, like, really deep, dark, ominous, like, it magnetizes to hypnotize me as I sleep the sleep of death.
Me as I sleep the sleep of death.
It's such a...
He sucks from me my only breath.
slaps you right in the face with contrast.
Since I was 10. I hope this happens once again.
The way this is ending, I feel like it reminds me of a song, but I've just really been captivated by it. Honestly, I enjoyed the heck out of this. Trey Tana? The Trey Tana tone. Dude, the way it ended with the Trey Tana tone there at the end after hearing a whole bunch of tones I just hadn't heard out of Trey before, the way that we had organ, grand piano, all of it, I mean, honestly, Guyute was just a fun song. It really satisfied, like, my metal heart. You know, I know I'm, like, the softest metalhead in the world. Like, I know I'm like the Mr. Rogers of metal here, but like, even though I just got like a little glimpse of what I felt was dark fish, the part of my heart that wants a little bit of chaos in my life was just really satisfied by that. So this next one is Fikus. Man, we're 4 for 4 on this. as far as songs liked. I would say Fikus. It's not Fikus, is it? Or Fikus?
Ficus dreamed a dream for me. It cost me nothing, it was free.
Reminds me of Herbie Hancock a bit. It came out of my mouth weird. Herbie Hancock. It's not normally how I'd say it.
Ficus dreamed a dream for me.
This bass.
Cost me nothing, it was free.
What's the clanking? Somebody tell me the clanking.
Dreamed of walking in the sand.
You hear this? It sounds like he's hitting the bottom of a pot with a mallet, like the boop 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 boop.
Of blossoms forming in his hand.
I'm going back because I keep getting distracted from the lyrics because I keep picking apart things. I love this jazzy element.
Ficus dreamed a dream for me. It cost me nothing, it was free. He dreamed of walking in the sand. Of blossoms forming in his hand. Cake and cedar shake.
The bass work in this album, I think, might be my favorite. Like, I've found myself missing a bit of what makes Trey the Gatlin gun guitar player that he is. But I'm finding that, like, I'm enjoying some of the other instruments a little bit more in this album. And not to dunk on Trey's playing here, I'm just saying, while it hasn't been as overtly in your face, look at Trey, it has given me kind of an opportunity to kind of focus in on some of the other things. Like, I really feel like I don't always give Fishman and Mike enough credit as I hear their music on first listens, especially because, like, they're the ones I feel like I'm drooling over on the second and third listens, because, like, to me, once I hear guitars, right, like, that's where my brain goes first. So, like, on the other listens, after I feel like I've heard the guitar stuff, it's like there's this whole other world to visit. And so, in this album in general, though, I feel like you've kind of gotten a bigger sense of the elements. And maybe it could even be that I have maybe learned to pick apart a little bit better with Phish in general as to what I'm hearing. So, like, the combinations of sounds are a bit easier for me to notice and appreciate. I don't know if it's like I'm leveling up at Phish here or not, but I find that I have found in this album, I've definitely really enjoyed Mike and Fishman a lot here. But also wanting to just get back into me, like, talking about how Trey's voice is a bit different in its editing. It's a lot more close and personal and intimate with the way he's conveying. Like, it's just a different kind of delivery, and I think that the production matches that difference in delivery.
Waterfalls and yellow snakes, kitchen cake and cedar shakes.
Did he say kitchen cake?
Dams and
Yeah, he did.
of waterfalls and yellow lakes.
So there's like a round happening here. That's why it was throwing me off.
Kitchen cake and cedar shakes. Waterfalls and yellow snakes, kitchen cake and cedar shakes, and dams and hydrofoil of waterfalls.
This one feels kind of abstracty and. Is that a rain? Am I hearing like a rain stick or like breathing? There's this like. But I don't know if it's like a breathing sound, a brushing sound of like, like moving like a hard object against a flat, stiff surface, like that soft. But it,
I'm self-reflex of birds, singing words. None of this was charged to me. Flying selves with flocks of birds. For as I say, it was for free. None of this was charged to me.
for as I said, it was free.
For as I said, it was for free.
Oh, he came back. I didn't realize. Bing! Oh, wow. There's a jazzy element to this that has been making me really happy. This whole album has definitely had more of a jazz kind of vibe to it. And honestly, having listened to a Frank Zappa album now, it's like obviously a bit different, but this kind of feels more Frank Zappa coded to me, especially having even just heard one album by Zappa. Feel like I'm making the connection here. All right, this one is Shafty. Ooh. I'm loving this 70s funky vibe with these power bass lines. The snare rim shots.
The terrible thing about hell is that when you're there, you can't even tell.
That bass. As
you move through this life you love so, you could be there and not even know. But you say, so what? I'm doing just fine. The irony is that it's all in your mind.
Wow.
And that is why hell is so vicious and cruel. But you'll just go on an oblivious fool.
Bro. I love that idea, though. The irony is that it's all in your head, and that's why hell is so vicious and cruel, but you'll just go on being an oblivious fool. Like you're there the whole time, and that's part of the hell, is that you're oblivious.
You'll just go on an oblivious fool.
It's been interesting. Not my favorite song of the album so far.
You'll just go on an oblivious fool. You'll just go on an oblivious fool.
Like, I've enjoyed hearing the different noises that they're incorporating. Yeah, like this one didn't really have, like, it didn't sing to my heart really. It's like, but I you know, I get it. Like I liked the concept here. I liked the kind of elements where we kept adding like little parts in between. I don't know if Limb by Limb is an instrumental or not. So let me see if there are lyrics on Genius really quick. Because if there are, I should check them out.
The shoulder that I leaned on was carved out of stone. But when I'm done freezing, I wanna be alone.
Okay. Dude, hang on. I want this to pause. I want to go back. I love this little... I can't even make the noise with my mouth.
The shoulder that I leaned on was carved out of stone. But when I'm done freezing, I wanna be alone.
I like that like palm mute sound he's got, like that is like a palm mute, and then he hits a strike of a clean chord, and it's just a nice little like cozy sound. With this little drum roll coming in. Oh, dude, yeah.
Never want my hand cut off.
Never want a hacking cough.
Never need a cliffside push.
Never turn my brain to mush.
Always give me what I lack.
Always take the best parts back.
Always recognize your fate.
Always just a moment late.
His second voice there, how that sounds different. Like it sounds like it's in an echoey thing that's moving. How's he that making that?
Always give me what I lack.
Always take the best parts back.
Always recognize your fate.
Always just a moment late.
Left is where I always turn.
Left is how I'm forced to learn.
Left the route my walking takes.
Left alone with my mistakes.
Up against a person who
Up till now I never knew.
up from hell the answer blue. Up or down, it's up to you. Drop me off the Chinese wall and peel my fingers off the rim. I come unglued while in midair and land to reform. Limb by limb.
Oh, dude, yeah. Big, like that's such a cool, like that the way they come in big and heavy with it, right? But never want my hand cut off, never want a hacking cough, never need a cliffside push, never turn my brain to mush. Always give me what I lack, always take the best parts back, always recognize your fate, always just a moment late. Left is where I always turn, left is how I'm forced to learn, left the route my walking takes, left alone with my mistakes. I kind of like that there's almost a different use for the word left in like each of these things, right? Up against a person who up until now I never knew, up from hell, another kind of reference to just before, right? Like I like that this album seems to be self-referential or you know, referencing its consistent themes here, like hell and ghost. It's kind of like a dark Phish. Okay, sure. Up from hell, the answer blue. Up or down, it's up to you. Drop me off the Chinese wall and peel my fingers off the rim. Just in the harmonies where they go really big into that chorus is just a fun little bit.
Slowly melting away. Tossed with a salad and veiled with a hay. Cooling like water that drips from above.
The bass is so good here.
Trampled by lambs and pecked by the dove. Draw me off the Chinese wall.
Do we have a chord, like a...
Feel my fingers off the rim.
Do we have any kind of lyrical idea of what he might be talking about there?
I come unglued while in midair and land to reform. Limb by limb.
I've been waiting for stuff like this the whole album, dude. That I like I said before, I've been waiting for stuff like this to happen the whole album, dude. The whole album, dude. The whole album, dude. Kind of little tiny percussive Latin breakdown moment there. I really enjoyed that. I still think Guyute was probably has probably been my favorite so far. I mean, lyrically perhaps not, but I think just musically, Guyute was like I think that's the one I'm probably most excited to revisit. This one is Frankie Says, and. Also, Shafty, I think, is maybe the one that's just not screamed to me, this particular one. Here we go. Ooh.
I knew this several months ago.
Yeah, this I can't get past how I feel like his vocals sound different to me here. I knew this several months ago. It just feels like I don't know. Somebody tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm onto something here.
I knew more than I do now, for I've been turned around somehow.
I love that.
The world will spin beside itself and suck you in with threats and hopes beyond compare.
Compare. I kind of liked how of all of the things they gave that one the fancy harmony.
Compare. Relax. The world will spin beside itself and suck you in with threats and hopes beyond compare.
Compare. I love this already.
As I pass, meandering from.
Can't help but hear a little bit of like echoes, guitar tone, like Pink Floyd echoes, like live at Pompeii guitar tones here.
Santa glass, I suction there for one whole day until the feeling goes away. Relax, the world will spin beside itself and suck you in with threats and hopes beyond compare. I don't need these orbits in my life, revolve and cycle through. Don't keep coming back for more. I don't need this circular design. Wheel and spin away from me. You've been by here before. Relax, the world will spin beside itself and suck you in with threats and hopes beyond compare.
We kind of keep revisiting that, like in this chorus, like relax, the world will spin beside itself and suck you in with threats and hopes beyond compare. It's like there's this cyclic kind of thinking.
The world will spin beside itself and suck you in with threats and hopes beyond compare.
Oh man, this feels like kind of like a person that's losing themselves in a world that they just feel like is swallowing them. Wow. the way that ended, dude, like, I've lost my mind, I've lost my way, I'm bound to lose, you wonder where I am. That's... I really, really, really think I kind of connect with that. Again, when you look through it, like I've been in phases of my life where that was the case, right? Like where you really have to pull yourself out of like a deep hole that maybe you even dug for yourself. In my case, it was a deep hole that I dug for myself, and like I just chucked that shovel out of the hole, so I'm stuck in the hole. And I feel like that kind of was exactly the same thing. Like, you don't even realize that you're kind of disappearing to yourself. And I think this idea of, you know, being sucked in by the world and, you know, with threats and hopes beyond compare, there's just something to losing yourself in all of it around. You know, and I don't know if I mean maybe that this isn't like one of those songs where they're like singing about like contending with fame or like learning to adjust to it, but like it definitely feels like there's an element of you know, feeling like you're kind of disconnecting from yourself, and that's something I relate to. So this is Brian and Robert. Love these. I love that. Am I hearing horns?
Staring at your walls, observing echoing footfalls from tenants wandering distant halls.
Wow.
Then this one is for you. If children playing all around, to you is noise, not pleasant sound, and you'd be lost on the playground. Then this one is for you.
I really, really love the eloquence of this one. If you're just staring at your walls, observing echoing footfalls from tenants wandering distant halls, then this one's for you. As a person who has contended with, you know, a lot of loneliness, especially in the last couple of years of his life, this one hits especially hard for me as a you know, person that has genuinely kind of battled his loneliness with this thing that I do on the internet and finding wonderful people to connect and interact with, you know, but there's definitely like, I know that feeling of just kind of like, you're so bored and lonely you don't even necessarily want to watch TV because nothing is interesting to you, and you're in this funk, so it's like everything just kind of feels bad and you want somebody to be around, even if they're not talking. Like, you just want somebody to be around, and like they don't even have to talk, just be there. Like, so, and then this idea, my grandmother used to have a neighbor before she passed away recently, like about 2 years ago, well, a little over a year and a half ago, but he would, whenever my like nieces and nephews or my little cousins would all be outside playing, he would call and be so angry. And I can remember being at the dinner table, all of us kind of talking, like, how can somebody be so angry when they hear children laughing and having fun, like a good time, like in their yard, like they're all like playing tag, they're not being destructive, they're just having fun. And like, you know, I understand some people don't sleep well, but some people really do just get upset about hearing people be happy. And that's a sad thing. Like, it bothers me personally to think that somebody is such an angry person and such like a shut off person and like so self-centered and like main character of their own world that like they cannot be okay with the fact that there are children out there laughing, having a good time that has nothing to do with them. I don't know. There's something there, and maybe it's hard to enjoy other people's joy when you're, you know, not feeling joyous, but those lines just kind of specifically hit me immediately, and I think because I could see myself in both of those contexts, it stood out.
Ground. silent diner where you feed. You bow your head, pretend to read. And this one is for you.
I really, really love this one, dude.
You slip past strangers in the street. There's no one that you care to meet. Longing for your TV seat. This one is for you. If you're just staring at your wall.
I really like this song. Because it kind of feels like this one's for me. I'm getting a little emotional talking about it, but it kind of feels like this one's for me, you know? Like, and I know it's in the name of, you know, it's in the lyrics, right? But like, it kind of feels like it's for me, even if it wasn't written for me. And like, it's weird to me that people get weird about the comment, Phish is therapy. I don't know why in the comment section I've seen people argue about that. Like, but in this context, like, it kind of feels that way, right? There's an understanding to that. Even if I don't fit every single one of the things, like, this one's for all of us in our own ways. And yeah, I feel very fortunate and blessed, right? Like, I'm in this place of life where, like, I like, things are going well, even if it's been a tough week. But like, I don't feel this way anymore. Like, but I can definitely remember feeling like I wrote one time about feeling like, you know, a broken display of hurt on or a broken parade of hurt on display, or a timid parade of hurt on display. And that feeling of like walking by strangers and feeling so bad and feeling like even strangers knew something was wrong with me because I felt so sad. And like everybody that knew me knew why I was sad. And there was just that moment of like, I didn't care to meet anybody. I didn't care to talk to anybody. I just wanted to be alone. And like the idea that even in that phase of my life, like this song was for me, like in any of these phases of my life, this is just a nice, it's like a swell song. I don't know another way to put it. But as a person who's dealt with a lot of loneliness and who's like finding his way out of that loneliness, it's just, again, I've commented on how their music makes a person feel, you know, validated and, you know, kind of understood, and how that's a special thing. And I think that this song, even if in its simplicity, kind of really shines that point to me.
If you're just staring at your walls. If you're just staring at your walls.
Because I'm a guy that stared at his walls a long time. Even just in fear of hitting the record button to go live.
This one is for you. If you're just staring at your walls. If you're just staring at your walls.
I really, really, really liked Brian and Robert, dude. Just a soft
This
vibe.
one is for you.
Like a 3-minute and 2-second smile that makes a person feel understood.
This one is for you.
Like our friends Phish wrote us a song.
This one is for you.
That's just, I don't know, man. It's kind of cool.
This one is for you.
Because I guess maybe this one actually felt like for me. Maybe everybody says that. Brian and Robert, honestly, it kind of right up there with Guyute, but for totally different reasons. Dang. Oh. Did Walter... Oh, what? Man, geez, I'm vain. I read the little text down here as Walter in the sky and the excitement I got. And I was like, where was everybody when that... Like, why didn't they tell me that this was a song? Now I see it's water in the sky, and I just feel really stupid for showing you all how vain I was in that moment. But I love how...
Listen as she speaks to you. Hear the voices flutter.
Love the bluegrass vibe.
Barriers arranged by you. The
You hear that? Love that.
Thunder calls through waterfalls, rising tides and ocean walls. I can hear you when you sigh. Listen as she speaks to you. Hear the voices flutter through. Watch them fall and let them
Yeah, I'm hearing just this.
fly.
Ting and tink to tink tink.
I can hear you when
What was that noise? That wasn't a harmonica, was it?
I can hear
No.
you when
Nope. That's not a harmonica, is it? Not that this is the right key. I just kind of picked one up, but
I can hear you when you sigh. Through the water.
I want to hear that whole piano sound again. It's like the noise of rainfall, but if it were keys on a piano. I want to hear it again. That's just such a appealing sound.
Hear you when you sigh.
I love that, dude.
Through the water, in the sky.
And then there's that noise.
Thunder calls through waterfalls, rising tides and ocean walls. I can hear you when you sigh.
I'm not hearing like a really edited, like wet sounding lap steel, am I? With like some crazy tape delay echoey sounds?
Listen as she speaks to you. Hear the as she speaks to you. Hear the voices flutter through the water, in the sky. Through the water, in the sky. Through the water, in the sky.
I think Paige wins this song for me, just saying. I think Paige wins this song for me, just in doing cool stuff that I hadn't... Like, it was such an interesting sound to make with the piano. I'm kind of like, there's 4 songs left, and it's like they're kind of small songs. I'm kind of sad. This is Roggae, this next one. Okay, baby. Ba-ba-bow. Let's do it.
The circus is the place for me, with bears and clowns and noise.
I love the shiny new.
Who sang the first part? The circus is the place for me, with bears and clowns and noise. Is that... But who did it? Because Trey was the second one. Da-da-da-da-da.
Circus is the place for me, with bears and clowns and noise.
I love the shiny music that descends from overhead. Gordon knew the moment when the stars all turned around. But from that vantage point I frowned.
And that was a different voice too, I think. But from that vantage point I frowned.
But from
Do 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 do.
Life were easy and not so fast, I wouldn't think about the past.
Oh man.
I can't forget to turn the earth so both sides get their share of darkness and of light.
That's maybe been my favorite moment of this whole entire album so far. You have this really hard-hitting, if life were easy and not so fast, I wouldn't think about the past. Like a very deep and profound lyric, right? And then you get this, I can't forget to turn the earth so both sides get their share of darkness and light. And then this moment after light,
I can't forget to turn the earth so both sides get their share of darkness and of light.
Am I hearing a lap steel there? Or just Trey's guitar?
Over grounds of light and heat and sounds and mist.
I like that they have these and separated lists instead of comma separated lists, like light and heat and sounds and mist. You know, there's something, and like I've noticed that to be a theme within his writing. But there's just something about it that I like.
Provoking dreams that don't exist. A circus of light where dreams can take flight. In the peacefulness dreaming dreams bring.
And also, I definitely feel like there's an element to of like... this kind of reminds me of like the Flight B741 album and the Fishin' for Fishies album by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard a little bit less less jazzy, funky perhaps, but a little bit more inside. I don't know. There's a familiar vibe in those two to me. Not that I think that they one inspired the other. I think that was just haphazard. They all liked Zappa.
Easy and not so fast.
That sounded to me like a lap steel guitar, but I could be wrong.
I wouldn't think about the past.
Down, 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 down. Chonky guitar tone. I do like that real ballsy chord strike sound, but I'm hearing that rhythm sound along with this lap steel sounding guitar, and I don't know if they had like a guest or in a live context. Is Trey playing the lead, like the part I'm hearing the lap steel do, or is he doing these big chords? Those lyrical geniuses. So this one is Waiting in the Velvet Sea. And I like that they kind of let Roggae transition into that. I enjoyed Roggae. Or Rogue. Roggae. Oh. It feels like kind of a silly ballad. But also, I also feel like this is one of those things where you don't need to know what it means to wade in the Velvet Sea. Like, so much as it's the kind of song that invokes emotion, because I can feel myself kind of feeling emotion from this song, and I feel like it kind of means that in this context the words are just there to make sounds as instrument. In this context, I feel like you could group sing this and lose yourself to tears singing something as simple, especially in a chanting context of like, I've been waiting in the Velvet Sea.
I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting
In my brain right now, though, I like, my brain is playing the guitar solo to Tuesday's Gone when I hear this song.
velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the. I took a moment from my day and wrapped it up in things you say and mailed it off to your address. You'll get it pretty soon unless the packaging begins to break and all the points I tried to make. I toss the thoughts into a bin and time leaks out, my life leaks in.
Oh,
You
wow.
won't find moments in a box, and someone else will set your clocks. I took a moment
Wow.
from my day and wrapped it up in things you say and mailed it off to you.
There's like a definitely like a personal touch to this. Like, this is kind of like an introspective moment. Love that ride.
You won't find moments in a box, and someone else will set your clocks. I took a moment from my day. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting
Yes.
in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the. I've been waiting in the. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the. I've been waiting in the. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. I've been waiting in the. I've been waiting in the. I've been waiting in the velvet.
This is exactly that moment I'm talking about. I think that this song really did just have such an emotional feeling to it. Like, it felt like there was conviction, even if I don't necessarily know what I've been waiting in the Velvet Sea means. I would love to hear your interpretation, by the way. What is there a known meaning for this? Is this maybe an abstract designed to feel feelings? This kind of, without irony, was one of my favorites. Like, I know I've said it about a few of them, but you know, from like Guyute to like Frankie Says, or Brian and Robert. Oh man, dang! No, this one, this is a really good album. As I'm looking at this thing, this is actually fantastic. Waiting in the Velvet Sea, I really, really, really enjoyed, even if I didn't necessarily know what it means. There was, especially just there at the end, where you have those leads by Trey over that kind of, that you know, chanting of I've Been Waiting in the Velvet Sea. Just really, really, really nice, really big, full moment. I very much enjoyed that. The Moma Dance is next. A nice little mood changer after that one. I don't know why I'm hearing Fame in my head. If you want me to stay. Maybe Sly as well.
All throughout, I gaze and glimpse you. Loving never did convince you.
Oh man.
All alone. It's
Yeah.
like a person I've not known. The moment ends, though I feel wings blowing differently than ever before, and they're pushing me further from shore. The moment ends, though I feel winds. 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 The moment ends, though I feel. The moment ends, the moment ends.
The Moma Dance, the Moma Dance. I want to dance to this song in a big crowd of people.
The moment ends,
The Moma Dance.
the moment ends, the moment ends. 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 The moment ends,
The Moma Dance. The Moma Dance. The Moma Dance. You hear that start to build in like that. It almost sounded like a bagpipe, like a low bagpipe, but I'm sure it was a keyboard. It's a little bit further back.
the moment ends.
It starts coming in just to.
The moment ends. The moment ends, the moment ends. The moment ends.
It's louder.
Up the rigging, taking sail. Mind the skipper, we'll not fail. Bring out wine, all will be fine. Just hear the order, watch the sail. The moment ends, though I feel winds. The moment ends, though I feel winds. The moment ends, though I feel winds.
I've enjoyed this one.
Feel winds. The moment
But I think so much of what I'm enjoying about it is the dynamic between Mike and Trey here. You know, like I've enjoyed like the bomb, like the random sounding noises I'm getting from all of the keys over there, like with the synths and you know the organs. But there's just something happening here between the guitar and the bass that's making me happy with this little like kind of wah striking guitar sound, and then you've just got this real nice like swing sound to the drums that makes me happy.
The moment ends, though I feel winds. The moment ends, though I feel winds. The moment ends, though I feel winds. The moment ends, though I feel winds.
Feel winds.
The moment ends, the moment ends. The moment
The Moma Dance feels like they say the moment ends. I can totally, but I don't know if Spotify is punking me. I got to close my eyes and not look at the words "the moment ends."
the moment ends. The moment ends, the moment ends. The moment ends, the moment ends.
This is one of those wash you fees me, drive me to Firenze moments, isn't it? Because I don't know if the moment is ending or I don't know if this is the Moma Dance, but the Moma Dance, the Moma Dance, the moment ends, 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 the moment ends. It could be either. And I just heard him say ghost there. Of the ghost. That's the titular phrase. visited Ghost there. I've really liked this song. This has just been a fun energy song. I feel like it'd be another fun one that you could see a jam in. I'm also very much liking just the Moma Dance. It's like a moment where I feel like Trey sounds like the way Cookie from Giz sings. In Giz language, we would call this a Cookie song. I feel like this whole album is going to be put on my Hold the Mustard playlist, which is the playlist I make for people, specifically my moderator, Crimson Raider, who is a fan, who likes Phish, but just not a fan of mustard fish. This noise, what does this sound like to me? This reminds me of a sound, but what is it? Like, I feel like I'm about to hear Breathe in the Air. Dun dun, bow. End of session. Ooh, listen to that organ. Ooh. This is breaking my brain. Oh man. Down there on the silent
Virgin tide, a mountainside open door, looming from the surf, a whispered word, a steady wind as we begin.
Wow.
To close in on the
I've loved how crazy this felt. It kind of pulls you, less is more lyricism that I enjoy, the poetry behind it, the imagery behind it. I've just really enjoyed so much of this. I definitely needed this album today. It definitely brightened my mood. I mean, really, the only song that wasn't like a hit to me was Shafty. End of session, I'm actually going to take off of my liked songs just because it was a little bit soft. I'll commit to, it's not like getting the lengthwise treatment quite yet, but I really enjoyed the imagery there. Honestly, I really felt like this album really lacked, again, a lot of like the mustard jam element of Phish, but we still got jams. I didn't necessarily, I wouldn't call this a favorite right off the rip. I definitely found songs I loved. Like, I definitely am excited that I heard songs that I want to hear live. Like, definitely want to come back and visit Guyute, but I've been like thinking about that since I heard it, you know what I mean? And like, this had kind of an adventure kind of level to it, right? Like, there was a turbulent element of this where it seemed happy, it seemed sad. I felt like the lyrics were lyrics of kind of isolation with the desire for like escapism. And I also felt like there was like a whimsical nature to it, like a silliness to it. Like, if a silly person or a whimsical and silly person were isolated. And even then, it kind of felt like they had a moment of connecting with fans. And maybe I'm just thinking that myself when feeling like a song was written for me. But I felt like this was wonderful. It doesn't necessarily hit me as hard in the place of life and understanding as like something like Rift or Hoist or Billy Breathes did. Like I've been kind of calling those 3 albums like a trilogy of albums for like where I've been in my life and like the place of life I'm moving out of, right? Like that Rift, Hoist, Billy Breathes era of just outside, you know, big life event happens, everything changes in your life and you kind of move forward and learn to be you again. This, I honestly, this was maybe the first album where I kind of heard it and thought like, more than ever, I wonder what these sound like live. I didn't, you know, there was an element where I really kind of feel like Phish albums should have 10-minute songs, you know? And I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but like I feel like that's maybe where a lot of my love for Guyute came from, other than just feeling like maybe that was dark Phish. Like I liked hearing the hard rock element to it. I honestly really loved this. I definitely, I mean, clearly it definitely got a lot of added songs. Guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.